Welcome to part 7 of Conscious Creation in the Intelligent Observer. For 6 lectures, we have been building inward. We looked at our nature, gathered the timeless tools, grew the awareness that creates a gap, claimed responsibility as the seat of our power, and learned to align the scattered parts of ourselves into one focused beam. That inner architecture is now standing. So from here we turn around and face the visible world, the world of your days and your habits and your work and the people around you. And the very first tool we need out here is not a technique, it is a new way of seeing. It is the ability to think in systems. Once you have it, you will look at your own life and see machinery you never noticed before. Machinery that has been quietly producing your results all along. Let me show you the problem it solves. Most people live their lives like firefighters. Something goes wrong and they react. They are tired, so they drink more coffee. They put on weight, so they throw themselves into one punishing workout. They fall behind on their work, so they steal hours from their sleep. They feel distant from their family, so they book one expensive holiday and hope it repairs everything. And here is the strange thing. They do all of this year after year, and nothing fundamentally changes. The tiredness comes back, the weight comes back, the distance comes back. Why? Because every one of those moves is aimed at a symptom, and not one of them touches the system underneath that keeps producing the symptom. They are bailing water out of a boat without ever looking for the hole. So what is systems thinking? At its simplest, it is the ability to see beneath the surface events of your life to the relationships, the patterns, the feedback loops, the delays, and the hidden structures that are actually producing those events over time. It is the difference between reacting to what happens and understanding the machinery that keeps making it happen. The firefighter sees a fire and puts it out. The systems thinker asks why this building keeps catching fire in the first place and goes looking for the faulty wiring in the walls. One is forever busy, the other quietly makes the fires stop. Now let me introduce you to the single most important piece of machinery, the feedback loop. Because once you see loops, you cannot stop seeing them. Think about this chain. You sleep badly, so the next day you are more irritable. Because you are irritable, you create tension with the people around you. That tension flares into conflict. The conflict leaves you churned up and unable to recover emotionally. And that lack of recovery wrecks your sleep again that night. Look at what just happened. The end of the chain feeds right back into the beginning. Poor sleep created conflict, and conflict created more poor sleep. It is a circle that powers itself, spinning faster the longer it runs. The traditions taught us about the inner loops of the conditioned mind, where every reaction deepens the groove for the next one. This is the very same thing playing out in the visible world, and it happens everywhere. A team gets overloaded, so they skip their planning to save time. Because they skip planning, the work becomes messy and chaotic. The messy work creates even more overload. Around and around it goes. And here is the liberating insight. When you are trapped in a loop like that, the answer is almost never to simply try harder. Working harder inside a broken loop just spins the loop faster. The real answer is to break the loop, to find one point in that circle and change it so the whole self-powering cycle loses its momentum. You do not need more willpower. You need to see the loop and cut it. This is why the systems thinker is so calm while everyone else is exhausted. They are not fighting the fire with more effort. They are reaching into the circle and pulling out the one piece that keeps it spinning. To see those pieces, the old systems thinkers gave us a beautiful picture called the iceberg. Picture an iceberg in the ocean. At the very top, above the water, where everyone can see them, are the events. The things that happen day to day, the argument, the missed deadline, the bad night. This is the only layer most people ever look at. And so this is the only layer they ever react to. But an iceberg is mostly hidden beneath the surface. Just below the waterline are the patterns, the trends, the same kind of event happening again and again over time. Go deeper and you reach the structures, the arrangements and rules and setups that are producing those patterns. And deeper still, at the very bottom, are the mental models, the beliefs and assumptions we hold that quietly built those structures in the first place. The ordinary person lives entirely at the tip, reacting to one event after another. The systems thinker dives down. They stop asking, why did this happen today? And they start asking the far more powerful question, what keeps producing this again and again? That single change of question can transform a person's entire life. And this leads us to one of the most valuable ideas you will ever carry, the idea of the leverage point. In every system, there are certain places where a small, well-aimed change creates an enormous downstream effect. A tiny shift in the right spot ripples out and changes everything. This means something hopeful and something that goes against everything we were taught. It means your life does not improve only through more effort and more grinding. It improves when you find the right leverage point and push there instead. Maybe the real reason your productivity is collapsing is not a lack of motivation at all, but simply that you are not sleeping. Fix the sleep, the high leverage point, and the productivity returns on its own without you ever attacking it directly. Maybe the real reason your closest relationship is slowly fraying is not one bad conversation, but the quiet absence of any regular moment of real connection. Restore that small ritual and the warmth returns. The problem is rarely the thing you are reacting to. The problem is almost always systemic, and the solution is almost always a leverage point you had not noticed. Now, I want to give you the reframe that I think is the most healing idea in all of systems thinking, and notice how it rhymes with something we learned earlier. We said that responsibility is not blame, that beating yourself up is just self-torture in a noble mask. Systems thinking says the same thing from the outside. Most of your recurring problems are not character flaws. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not lacking some moral fiber that everyone else mysteriously has. Your recurring problems are systemic outputs. They are what a particular badly designed system was always going to produce. The person who keeps procrastinating is not fighting some deep personal failing. They are caught in a structure that makes procrastination the natural result. And this is wonderful news because a character flaw feels permanent and shameful, but a system is just a thing that was designed. And anything that was designed can be redesigned. You are not sentenced to your patterns. You are simply living inside an arrangement you can change. Let me widen the lens one more step, because this is where it becomes powerful for your whole life. Your life is not one single system. It is a system of systems all wired together. Your health affects your energy. Your energy affects the quality of your work. Your work affects your mood. Your mood affects your relationships. Your relationships affect your sleep. And your sleep affects every single one of them all over again. Everything is connected to everything. And while that might sound overwhelming, it is actually the source of tremendous hope, because it means a small improvement in one high leverage area does not stay in that area. It spreads. Fix your sleep and watch your energy rise, your work sharpen, your mood lift, your relationships soften, which helps you sleep even better. One wise change in the right place lifts the entire web. You do not have to fix your whole life at once. You have to find the one or two leverage points that quietly lift everything else. There is a saying that captures this whole lecture in a single line, and I want you to carry it with you. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Read that again slowly. Your goals are your hopes, your wishes, the things you say you want at the start of every year. But when the pressure comes and the motivation fades, you do not perform at the level of your wishes. You sink to the level of whatever systems you have actually built around yourself. If your systems are weak, all the goals in the world will not save you. And if your systems are strong, you barely need goals at all, because the structure carries you. This is why the people who transform their lives are so rarely the ones with the loudest ambitions. They are the ones who quietly built the better machinery. So that is the lens. Stop being a firefighter forever reacting to events. Learn to see the loops that power your problems and break them instead of feeding them. Dive beneath the surface of the iceberg to the patterns and structures and beliefs underneath. Hunt for the leverage points where a small change moves everything. And remember that your life is a connected web, so one wise improvement can lift the whole. And above all, hold the mercy in this, that your recurring struggles are not proof that something is wrong with you. They are simply the output of a system, and a system can always be redesigned. That word, redesigned, is the bridge into the next lecture. Because seeing the machinery is only the first half. Now we pick up the tools and actually build. In the next lecture, we become designers. And we go to work on the 4 systems that shape your days more than anything else. Your environment, your habits, your work, and your relationships. We learn how to arrange the world around you so that the right action becomes the easy action, and the good life becomes the path of least resistance. That is where we go next. Please subscribe for more of such well-researched intellectual sharing.